Hello, everybody. Welcome to our second episode of Data Driven Agriculture. My name is Corey, and today with me I have one and only Femi Farmer, who is a professional in the field of drones and he's biased towards drones in agriculture. So I'm going to read something small about him. Now, Femi Adekoya, popularly known as Femi Farmer, is an agricultural professional and plant health scientist by training. He has a strong interest and experience in agriculture innovations and technologies. He had his bachelor's degree in horticulture at the Federal University of Agriculture, Abeokuta. He got a first class honors. He recently concluded a master's degree in integrated pest management at Harper Adams University, Edgemont, United Kingdom, through the prestigious Commonwealth Scholarship by the UK government. He is the founder of AgriTech Limited, an agriculture value chain and consultancy company who are also involved in extending and training youths and women in climate smart and agriculture technologies or techniques that increase farmers' productivity and resilience. He is also a drone strategist and the head of flight operations at Integrated Rural Precision, a drone service provider with a special focus on agriculture, where he provides drone-powered solutions, training, and consultancy to individuals and various organizations. Femi is a UK Civil Aviation Authority certified drone pilot and also a drone data analyst, using UAVs and drone data to help farmers and relevant stakeholders adopt and practice precision agriculture. Femi is also a youth in data delegate at the CGIAR platform for big data in agriculture. So you're welcome to this podcast. Today we'll be talking about drones in agriculture, and being somebody who has been in this field for quite some time, your experience will be very valuable for this talk, so that at least we're able to understand where we stand as agriculture stakeholders in the use of technology and more so the use of drones on matters agriculture. We'd like to know about your story, about your journey. Could you kindly let us know how you started this journey and how it is at the moment?
So how do they start? Actually, I'm a person that is intrigued with and is so much interested with innovations in agriculture, and how they can positively affect um, productivity and also increase the efficiency of farmer while they reduce the cost of production, and also aim at profit, which is the goal. And in a social context, we also talk of food security. So that's my drive, and I always tell people that it's my career goal to be an astute professional in the field of agriculture, contributing to global food security, um, although from local actions through proven scientific knowledge and technological innovations. So that said, so how did I get into um, as an agricultural professional and also a practicing farmer or a practicing agriculturalist? How did I get into drone to help and to also integrate it into what I do? Okay, so um, I was fortunate to get a Commonwealth scholarship by the United Kingdom. So to study integrated pest management at a graduate degree level. And I saw the innovation of drone at work. So I took my time out to invest into it. I mean, invest into the learning. I took out, yeah. So I took a time to get trained and to get qualified for the license while in the UK, because that's very, very fundamental to start the journey of drones. You have to be um, competent in piloting a drone, and then to talk of collecting data, then to talk of processing, then to talk of so and because of the regulations around the use of drones, you have to be qualified to use a drone. So I got qualified and I was trained. I was trained and I got qualified on by this United Kingdom Civil Aviation Authority to fly a drone. So, and that's where the journey started with agriculture. Then I began to look into how can these unmanned aerial vehicles, like we call them, or systems, can be used in agriculture to improve productivity. And as an agricultural expert, um, diverse ways. I know diverse ways. I have read diverse ways to which people are using drones. I mean, in revolutionary way that are helping farmers from collecting data to sum it up and also expediting agricultural activities. So that is how I got into the space, into the use of this technology, and keep it short and simple.
From what you've told me, it is your love for innovation that made you venture into this technology. Also, you're talking about drones. Now, in the sub-Saharan African context, this technology or this approach might seem a bit far-fetched. It might seem a bit alien. So what really informed you to now venture into this niche, bearing in mind that this is something that has not been explored so much in the sub-Saharan African context?
So I think what informed me, the fact is that the drone technologies is a technology that's come to stay, and because of the prospects it brings, because of the merits it brings to the table, because of the benefits it avails also the agricultural sector, no matter where, either in the developed country, underdeveloped country, or developing countries, we would need this technology, and we need this technology. Okay, just for example, say 20 years ago, maybe the first smartphone was produced, maybe, but we say, what about people in the village? How can they have phone? They cannot have smartphones. It's too expensive.
Yeah,
and that is it with drones.
Time.
It's a matter of time, and not just time as a factor. It also depends on how we embrace this technology, how we adopt this technology, and that will speed or fast track we see the benefit of this technology in our local context. So it's not just about we are not able to get it. No, we will be forced to get it. We will be intrigued to get it because of the advantage and the merits it brings to us. So we may have a little bit of low adoption at this time, which is normal because every technology scales. So we are still at the level of, at the infant level, if I will put it, particularly in the agricultural sector, infant level of adoption. Okay, but it's a matter of time, and it's a matter of the push, the matter of awareness, the matter of um, um, developmental opportunities that would allow us to adopt it. So that's what I would say as regards that.
Now, you've talked about the merits and the benefits that these drones would bring into the agriculture and more so in the African context. Okay, with the growing concern about food insecurity and the stress on the environmental resources and all that. So what are some of the issues that you think drones are going to solve?
Okay. There are areas of problems in the agricultural sector that are militating against the objective of going into food production, which is to be food secured. All right. And one of them, number one, is climate change. Climate change is not just a threat anymore, it's a reality. So it's a reality. And the question is, how we drones solve this problem? First, we know the cause of climate change. Agriculture is impacting climate change, and also climate change is then impacting agriculture. So we can say it starts from agriculture, but we first limiting the production of greenhouse gases into the atmosphere or into the ozone layer. Then drones as a solution help us as a low carbon footprint in allowing us not to add to the carbon footprint in the ozone layer. That's number one. And number two, in adaptation to climate change. Because when there is flood, or there's a matchy place on your field, because it could get stuck. But with drones, there are no potholes, there are no swamps, there are no matchy areas in the air. You can spray your field. You can collect data, on-demand data. I'm actually about writing a blog, and I've also been sharing with people how drones are revolutionizing agriculture. How drones are revolutionizing agriculture in diverse ways. So that's around climate change. That drones are there to help us adapt to the effect of climate change, and also help us to mitigate the impact of agriculture on climate change. Number one. And number two, we also have low or unattractiveness of agriculture to the youth. Because based on the traditional setting in Africa, nobody wants to leave the farm, and you have your friend in the office wearing suit and tie, living a good life under the AC, a good condition, and things like that. Well, while I admit that we cannot all be there, but the fact remains that the landscape, the agricultural landscape, is not yet attractive to pull the critical mass of youth into agriculture that will then produce food that we need to eat. Okay, but with drone technology and with such other technology, particular drone technology, we are seeing that it's attracting more youth, drawing their attention into agriculture. Well, so this thing can be used in agriculture. Oh, I don't need to walk around my field to scout my field anymore. I can use drones to collect survey data, geospatial data to be able to analyze and know deep within my farm, the details of plant health, the details of land topography, the details of how to do this, on-demand data acquisition with drones. It will now begin to attract them. It is, I will use the word, it is more sexy or more attractive to be called a drone professional in agriculture than person handling hoes and cutlasses. That you want to say, yeah, I operate drones in agriculture, and that's what I do. That's how I produce. So that solves the problem of youth not coming into agriculture. It's drones are now attracting them. They're now drawing their attention. Oh, this is them using diverse ways. And another problem is unavailability of labor, which stems from unavailability of labor. With drones, instead of you want to apply crop protection products or plant protection products, and it could take it could take 30 people to spray an hectare of a crop, depending on crops. Even if it's a arable crop, say rice in particular, it could take one person a whole full working day to finish that. And that is hazardous. And not to talk of the risk of exposure to chemicals, to hazardous chemicals, to which we have in sub-Saharan Africa. And we are so lucky, let me use the word, that our temperature, our climate is hot. You cannot put on the best PPE, the overall GS, to protect yourself. You feel the heat, you'll be tired, the duress is there. But with drone technology, you don't need to walk to the field and be back in NASA sprayer all the whole day while your back is aching. Or you can send it autonomously to fly drones in hectares of land. Within minutes, it's done spraying. So, and that reduces or solves the idea of scarcity of labor in our agricultural fields. I can go on and on and go on and on as regards our problems in agriculture. And even future, we are now talking about drones for logistics. We do not need from rural environment to urban environment. It takes hours or days to get produce from the rural environment, where the food is produced, where majority of our food is produced, into the urban environment. But with drones, there is no potholes in the air. There are no police. I mean, there are no extorters, let me use the word police, extorters that will collect money on our taxes and the likes, and unnecessary taxes, on informal taxes, as the case may be. In the hair, you can send directly, and within minutes or within a limited time, you're getting to where you're getting. You're dropping the problems that drones are coming to solve. Drones are portable, drones are attractive, they are hands-on. I can go on and be
Yeah, I see that.
sharing my thoughts. Yeah.
Yeah, at least the innovations that you're talking about earlier, I see them coming into play. Now, at least you've told us about the kind of issues that and the kind of solutions that would stem from use of drones and technology in agriculture. Now, moving away from that, I just want to talk about something small about scalability and adoption of drones in agriculture, more so in the African context. We know that when you're talking about the African context, you're talking about smallholder farmers who have less, the average acreage of African farmers is a bit low. And this means that they do not get so much from their farms. And when you talk about drones in agriculture, personally, as a lay person, I would think that this is a very costly venture. And also from an African context, I would be a bit skeptical of using such kind of technology. It seems so alien, it seems so far-fetched. So how are you going, what kind of approaches are you going to apply in order for you to increase awareness and to increase the adoption and traction of the same in agriculture?
Okay, I think you're trying to bring two questions together, kind of that in the context of smallholder farm.
Yes.
Useful for them. How can we then scale the use? I think it is noteworthy that about 80% of the food we eat or we consume are produced by smallholder farmers, and which you have defined smallholder farmers with low acreage. And another characteristic with present smallholder farmer is the low efficiency or productivity from their field. Yeah. It's not up to standard. Yes, while it is true that drones are relatively expensive than the crude implements being used, but their cost benefit, the current use. And this is why, because we do not have technologies that can enhance these farmers, we have low productivity per meter square. I agree that drones are relatively expensive. I've said that. But I also agree to a higher thought by the cost benefit ratio from that perspective. Then how can farmers now benefit from the merit that drone brings to the table? Why drones are particularly suitable, most of for large acres of land, suitable for, you have hundreds of hectares, you're happy to put it on the air, it's doing itself autonomously, it's collecting data for you and the like. It doesn't exclude the smallholder farmers. For example, with the integration of artificial intelligence, talk of machine learning, talk of deep learning algorithms or computer visions, you can collect data, and much more than collecting data, you can analyze this data to be able to give you deep insight into your data. You're turning your data into business information. Okay, you can know, when I plant my 1 hectare of cassava, instead of you walking around your field to see which one have died, after planting, or so after 10 days, you believe they should be germinating, but some are not germinating. You can use drones just in the air. With the images is collected, you can analyze what's the plant count. That informs you or the smallholder farmers where to go and quickly supply within the time. It can also help you in plant count and estimate your yield or your harvest, because your plant population is directly proportional to the yield. The more you have plant population in the context of the right spacing or recommended spacing, you will be able to get a good yield from it. So, um, that's very very that's the means to which smallholder farmers can use drones, or they can benefit from drones. And also, if smallholder farmers, because of the if smallholder farmers can come together as a cooperative, or a community of farmers, they can benefit from this technology, and that's what we're talking about at scale. Oh, I know that my capacity is I can just only manage 2.5 acres, 1 hectare, 2 hectares, and that's all I could manage. You as Kobe, you can only manage 3 hectares. Oh, our other friend can manage 4 hectares. We can come together. We can form critical mass of people that we can employ the service of service providers, instead of, even if we cannot from our first production get a drone for ourselves or for our community, but we can employ the service of drone providers to help us do expedite activities, drone spraying, seed planting, if it is rice, planting with drones, spraying fertilizer, broadcasting of fertilizers, and a lot more that we can do, that they will just, all we just need to do is to harness our effort together and employ the use of drones. So there are diverse ways that we are thinking how the smallholder farmers can benefit from drones. And it's not more as the technology is evolving. I mean, the drone technology, the unmanned area technology is evolving itself. We begin to have modular, not just modular, we begin to have mass production, because as the adoption increases, mass production, which will lead to a decrease in price for smallholder farmers. Just like in some years back, we say smartphones are expensive. Not everybody now has smartphones. Almost everybody now has smartphones. And as a matter of fact, Africa is leading in the agenda of using smartphone or the internet access. Africa is leading. I'm from Nigeria, and I know how much we use smartphones, how much we use the internet. So that is where we are going. So that is the possibility I'm saying. There'll be a reduction in price as the adoption increases. And farmers can also help themselves, even in the present context, to come together to be able to use this technology to their benefit, benefiting from the critical mass of that community. Yes, I think that we can overcome that.
Yeah, thank you for that. I think two things that have come out clearly from this, what you've talked about is the process is, the first thing is you need to create a value proposition. You need to tell the farmers that we have a technology here, right? And from this technology, these are the benefits of this technology. Now, but these are the demerits. It is a bit costly. Now, for us to be able to manage this cost, then we need again to look for another approach. And this approach that we are looking at is, for example, group farming, grouping the farmers into manageable units, so that you can be able to share the costs among them. Then at the end of the day, it becomes a bit low. So thank you for that. Now, moving on to the next, drones technology. Now, where do you see yourself in probably the next 4 or 5 years on this spectra of drones in agriculture?
Okay. Number one, presently I'm growing my startup, which is integrated area precision, and that's it. So integrated area precision, growing the startup, and what we do is we provide drone services to farmers, but in particular, which is our focus because we are industry specific enterprise. We focus on agriculture. And we provide drone services, like I said. Number two, we also train. We believe that we need more people coming into this industry to be aware and to be armed with the knowledge. Okay, to be armed with the knowledge to use drones responsibly, safely, and for public good. And also also involved in consultancy. That means helping other organizations to be able to integrate drones into their work, So then that means how, and also where do I see myself in the next 5 years? We want to be a leader in service rendering. I mean, of in different use cases of drones in agriculture. Okay, as the use cases is evolving, we want to be there to be able to provide a solution to farmers. Um, personally, I'm now learning data science. I'm able to draw better conclusions. Or better insight rather, to be able to conclude, make interpretation, and make um, impact-driven, give impact-driven solutions to farmers from the data we get. So that is there. So, and in the next 5 years, I believe that I will be much more as a leader, okay, and that is providing valuable and viable solutions in the agricultural sector, both to the farmer and every other stakeholders. So that's a focus. That's a focus. And also, as regards IEP in the next 5 years, we believe that we'll be able to deliver more use cases, help more organizations, and in the use of drones. The unmanned area technology. In diverse way they come to be helping them to integrate drones into their enterprise, and much more training other people to get into this industry. Yeah.
Thanks so much, Femi. We wish you all the best from Data-Driven Agriculture, and we believe that you are going to make it. You're going to impact a lot of stakeholders in this industry. Now, for you to decide to settle on this niche, I believe that it took a lot of courage, it took a lot of self-belief, and some determination for you to say, now I am going and I'm going to use drones in agriculture. And I know that not so many people, not so many companies have used the same in this industry. So we are seeing that we have so many youth and young people out here who have not really found a niche yet, mostly in the agriculture space. And they're still trying to fidget around, trying to look at what they can do. So what is your message to them? What can you tell them?
It is clear. You've asked, I think, if I get you, you've asked about my motivation.
Yes.
In this uncharted water, why am I going in this uncharted water?
Yes.
And then what am I going to give as an advice to youth out there also? That's perfect. I like those questions. Well, like I said, I'm driven by innovation. And when I say I'm driven by innovation, I don't mean new innovation. I don't mean by the newness. I don't mean by the modernity. I just mean this innovation, what is it going to give? What is going to be the impact in the near future? How is it going to revolutionize and change the landscape? And then personally to me, am I going to be left behind when it begins to change? Do I want to be a player in this? Is it, these are the things that inform my resolve to go into this niche, to niche down, particularly when it comes to drones. I say only thing I want to be known for is drones in agriculture. There are diverse means of drones in various industries, but it is for drones in agriculture. And that's because I've seen the prospect and I'm ready to put in the work. And it's not the work, it's about enjoying the process for me. Like we are doing now. I'm happy meeting you. It's because of drones in agriculture, because of the data. So, and that's the motivation. And I would like to tell the youth, because what my question is, what will be your relevance in the future of work? Because like we do see as drone professionals, is a drone decade. is a drone decade, and you must learn from, I've been using smartphones as an example. You must learn from the technology of smartphones and begin to key. Maybe 30 years ago, typewriter was very, very valuable in the secretariat. But is typewriter valuable again? I remember in my secondary school, in my junior secondary school, where I was taught shorthand writing for business, in business studies. Who the hell is using shorthand right now? So you must be able to set, okay, this is the future. You must be able to see. When you get that insight, you must run with it. I'm going for this because I can identify myself in the future and I want to remain relevant as a professional. Yeah.
Thank you so much for giving that advice to the youth out there and to anybody who would take that advice. Yeah. So do you have any parting shots?
I would just say, because I know that we'll have more youth stumbling on this video, I would say you'll have to prepare to feature in the future you want. You'll have to really put in the effort right now. No matter what it takes, you just have to pay the price and be joyful for the end. Be joyful for the end. Keep the end inside and keep running. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Femi Adekoya. I hope that we'll be having a rerun probably in a later episode for you to tell us about one of your projects or one of the projects that you are doing, so we'll be able to understand more about this technology in agriculture. It has been a pleasure hosting you.
It will be a pleasure.
Yes. So
thank you
have
so
a
much.
good day.